With the new 12 subclass update in Baldur's Gate 3, the replayability of an already insanely replayable game just went through the roof. So I decided to push it even further. I combined the UnlockLevelCurve mod with the new Barbarian subclass, Path of the Giant, and built an absolute monster, a level 20 beast that can throw enemies like ragdolls and tank through entire armies. Before we dive into the madness, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps with the algorithm and lets me keep making builds like this. All right, let's get into it. The Path of the Giant isn't just about size or strength. It's about tapping into a lineage that stretches back to the dawn of the multiverse. Long before the rise of elves, dwarves, or even dragons, there was Anam the All-Father, a primordial deity said to be born of both law and chaos. Some myths claim he shaped worlds and gods with his dreams. Others say he walked the planes that creating entire realities on a whim. Whatever the truth, one thing is clear. Anam came to Toriel before nearly any other god, and from his union with the mountain goddess Othea, the first giants were born. He gave them a kingdom, Astoria, and a divine structure known as the Ordning, a sacred hierarchy that determined their place in the world. Anam's giants were meant to rule the material plane, but war, betrayal, and time reduced them to scattered clans and fractured power. The dream of Astoria faded, but its legacy remains. As a barbarian on the Path of the Giant, you awaken that legacy. You channel the same primordial magic that once fueled the rulers of a lost age. Your body swells with power. Your rage is more than fury. It's a connection to the elemental forces of stone, storm, and fire. And when you rage, you're not just embracing chaos, you're echoing the will of the giants who were once meant to rule the world. At level 3, you gain access to Giant's Havoc and Elemental Cleaver. Giant's Havoc is what makes your rage different from any other barbarian. It causes you to physically grow in size when you rage, giving you extra reach on melee attacks and shoves. You're harder to ignore, harder to push around, and your presence on the battlefield becomes a problem for your enemies. Then comes Elemental Cleaver. While you're raging, any weapon you wield gets infused with elemental power, fire, cold, or lightning, and if you throw that weapon, it returns to your hand automatically. You don't need a bow. You don't need a backup ranged weapon. Just throw your axe, watch it explode, and catch it again. It's smooth, satisfying, and brutally effective. Level 4 gives you your first feat or ability score improvement. This is where you start shaping your playstyle. If you want to go all in on throws, Tavern Brawler is a strong choice. If you're playing more frontline, Polearm Master makes your reach weapon even more deadly. At level 5, like all barbarians, you get extra attack, and this works beautifully with your new size and reach. You also gain movement speed, letting you close gaps quickly and stay aggressive. Then at level 6, the subclass gives you a new feature, Mighty Impel. This is where things get fun. As a bonus action, you can pick up a medium or smaller creature and throw them to a space within 30 feet. No ability check, no contest, just grab and toss. You can use this to hurl enemies into danger, reposition your allies, or send someone flying off a cliff, all as a bonus action while still swinging your weapon. From level 7 to 11, you're powering up with core barbarian improvements. Your rage damage increases, you get more rage charges per long rest, and your unarmored defense gets even better. You also gain Feral Instinct, giving you advantage on initiative rolls and making sure you're never surprised. You're fast, you hit hard, and now you almost always go first. At level 9, you pick up Brutal Critical, which lets you roll an extra damage die when you land a crit. It stacks with your elemental-infused weapon throws, so when you land a critical hit, it hits like a meteor. Then, at level 11, you unlock Relentless Rage, a passive that basically gives you a second life once per rage. If you drop to 0 HP, you make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw. If you pass, you drop to 1 HP instead. And the DC only goes up by 5 each time you trigger it again in the same rage. With high Constitution and proper setup, this makes you extremely hard to kill. Finally, level 12 gives you another feat or ability score improvement. By this point, you can either cap your strength and constitution or round out your build with something like Sentinel to punish enemy movement, or Great Weapon Master if you want those high damage kill shots on command. By level 12, you're a massive mobile elemental powerhouse. You control the battlefield with throws and shoves, you hit like a truck with elemental crits, and you're tanky enough to take everything the enemy throws at you, and then throw it right back. Once you move past level 12 using the UnlockLevelCurve mod, things start getting even more intense for the Barbarian. At level 13, your critical hits get nastier with Brutal Critical Tier 2. That means you now roll 2 additional damage dice when you land a critical hit. Combined with the elemental power from your subclass, your crits aren't just big, they're ridiculous. You'll start noticing enemies just disappearing on the spot. At level 15, you gain Persistent Rage. Normally, your rage ends if you stop attacking or taking damage for a round. Not anymore. With this feature, once you rage, you stay raging until the encounter is over, unless you choose to end it. You don't have to worry about managing rage anymore. You can focus entirely on positioning, shoving, throwing, and smashing without fear of losing momentum. Level 17 unlocks Brutal Critical Tier 3. Now, every critical hit comes with 3 extra damage dice. At this point, your crits feel like finishing moves. Whether you're swinging a great axe or throwing a lightning-charged maul across the battlefield, the damage spikes are no joke. Finally, at level 20, you unlock Primal Champion, the capstone of the Barbarian class. This feature boosts both your strength and constitution by 4 points and raises their maximums from 20 to 24. That means you hit harder, live longer, and resist just about everything the game throws at you. With this one upgrade, you become nearly unstoppable, a frontline juggernaut who dishes out punishment and shrugs off incoming attacks like they're nothing. These upgrades don't introduce flashy new buttons to press, but they quietly turn you into one of the most reliable and brutal characters in the game. Every hit you land has weight. Every rage lasts the entire battle. And with 24 constitution, you're probably the last one standing when the dust settles. This is what happens when you take the path of the giant to its absolute limit. It stops being a subclass and starts becoming a myth. And that's the full journey of the path of the giant barbarian, all the way to level 20 with the UnlockLevelCurve mod. If you enjoyed the breakdown, found it useful, or just like watching broken builds tear through Baldur's Gate 3, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot with the algorithm and lets me keep making content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.